Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my videos. If Ole Gunnar Solskjaer gets sacked, who will Manchester United's next manager be? Now, Antonio Conte is the favourite to replace Solskjaer. Man United are in talks with Antonio Conte. There's a lot of Manchester United fans that are demanding Conte in. Conte is available because he left Inter Milan at the end of last season. Now, earlier on this season, he said Conte would accept the Man United job if Solskjaer was to get sacked. And Conte made it clear that he wants a winning project. So reflecting on that, he rejected Arsenal and he rejected Tottenham. Conte has got a good pedigree behind him. He won a lot of silverware in his home nation. And when he was at Chelsea, he won the Premier League in his first season. Now, there's been some Man United fans demanding Zidane in. At one point, Zidane told his friends that he wanted to come to Manchester United. Would you take Erik ten Hag at Manchester United? I heard that Man United are in talks. Don't forget, at one point, Mauricio Pochettino was the favourite to take over at Manchester United. At one point, Pochettino was in talks with Man United. That's when he was managerless. But we didn't get Pochettino because he went to PSG. So there you go. If Solskjaer does get sacked, he'll be the fourth permanent manager to be sacked since Ferguson. Because we've already sacked 3 managers since Ferguson. We sacked David Moyes, we sacked Louis van Gaal, and we sacked Jose Mourinho. The pressure has mounted on Solskjaer following Manchester United's 4-2 loss to Leicester at the King Power Stadium. It was the first time Manchester United lost away from home in the Premier League since January 2020. Reflecting on the loss to Leicester, Manchester United are winless in their last 3 league games, and Manchester United have only won 2 of their last 7 games in all competitions. But despite that, The Athletic said yesterday that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's job is safe, so he will be allowed to spend up to 70 million in January. One report said Solskjaer could be stopped from spending Man United's transfer budget in January. So it's been made clear that Manchester United will not sack Solskjaer despite Man United's poor form. If bad results persist, I think Solskjaer will be gone by Christmas. I don't think Solskjaer will get until the end of this season. Revert back to what I've said on my recent videos, Solskjaer is out of excuses because Manchester United have got a very good squad. It's a title winning squad, so in reality we should be winning the league this season. Plus, Solskjaer received very good backing in the summer transfer window. John Murtough backed him, Darren Fletcher backed him, Ed Woodward's backed Solskjaer, and the Glazers backed Solskjaer. And Manchester United enjoyed a very good summer transfer window. We made 4 signings. We brought Tom Heaton in on a free from Aston Villa, brought Sancho in from Dortmund, brought Varane in from Real Madrid, and we re-signed Cristiano Ronaldo after 12 years. We spent 141 million in the summer transfer window. Solskjaer's endured 5 transfer windows now as permanent Man United manager. This season is Solskjaer's 3rd full season as Manchester United manager. And I did mention at the start of this season that this season was going to be massive for Solskjaer because he's got big expectations to exceed. I've already said to you, Solskjaer has to win a trophy at Manchester United this season. He's not yet won a trophy as Manchester United manager. We haven't won a trophy since 2017, and earlier on this season Solskjaer did say that we must leave a legacy of silverware. But I just feel as though that the expectations are far too high for Solskjaer to exceed. And I just reckon that Solskjaer's in a position he shouldn't be in. In the summer, Solskjaer signed a new contract with the club until 2024. With an option of a further year. We made a mistake giving him that contract because I can assure he won't see it out. But my concerns about Solskjaer is his decision making. Analysing the vast majority of the games he's managed at Manchester United, he's been tactically naive. And he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager. If Solskjaer is still Manchester United manager in December, he'll be celebrating 3 years in charge. Now, whatever happens regarding Solskjaer, like I've said so many times before, we'll always adore him because at the end of the day, he is a club legend. He endured 11 years as a player for Man United. He flourished under Ferguson's guidance. Solskjaer had a proven pedigree as a player because he won a lot of trophies as a United player, but unfortunately, he hasn't got a proven pedigree as a manager, and that is the difference. Solskjaer got appointed in December 2018 to replace Mourinho. He's been permanent Manchester United manager since March 2019. The reason Solskjaer got the job permanently back in March 2019 was reflecting how well he did as the interim manager in that 3-month period. We have spent around 441 million under Solskjaer, and Solskjaer has signed 14 players. Ollie's also got rid of a lot of players since he's come in. He's loaned players out. He's also got rid of players permanently. Despite me heavily criticising Solskjaer a lot during his managerial tenure at Man United, I've got to say he has done a pretty good job to say the current squad he was left with when he got appointed in as Man United manager. Didn't expect him to do as well as he has done, so in that aspect, I am shocked. But Manchester United have got a very, very good team. But we're not playing as a team. We're playing as individuals, like Neville mentioned earlier on this season. You've got the likes of Liverpool, Chelsea and City and all of that. That play as a team, and that's why they're in a much better position than Manchester United. Obviously we've got Marcus Rashford. That's good. He's obviously back from injury. Rashford scored on his comeback against Leicester. That was Rashford's first appearance since the Europa League final last season. By the way, reports have recently said that Marcus Rashford's camp is upset with Solskjaer, because Solskjaer told Marcus Rashford to prioritise his football over his off-field activities. Rashford was out with a shoulder injury for a while at one point. Don't forget he had to have surgery on his shoulder. We need to keep Marcus Rashford on the left wing, because that's where he's mostly effective. He's far superior on the left wing to how he is on the right wing and up top. Rashford's been part of the club for a long time. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and he's been in our senior squad since 2016, and he's got a contract with Man United until 2023. You've got Mason Greenwood. That's also very good. Greenwood scored against Leicester. That was his 4th goal in the league this season. It was a stunning goal as well from Greenwood. Could have had a couple of more goals because he had a couple of other good chances. I think there was one chance where he hit the post. There was one period though where Greenwood didn't score for a while. But despite that, Greenwood's been an absolute revelation since he broke into our senior squad. Greenwood made his senior debut for Man United back in 2019. He's been a United player since the age of 7, and last season Greenwood signed a new 4-year contract. A lot of the time, Greenwood plays on the right wing. He plays a lot of games now for Man United. Jadon Sancho. He's a good player, but he's endured a bad start to his Manchester United career. And reflecting on that, there's fans that are starting to get on Sancho's back. But the blame stems from Solskjaer, why Sancho's been poor, because Solskjaer's playing him out of position persistently. Solskjaer keeps putting Sancho on that left wing. He played on the left wing against Leicester. He can play as a left winger, but Sancho's predominant position is the right wing, and he's far superior on the right wing to how he is on the left wing. I've said Sancho will do well at Man United, providing that Solskjaer uses him correctly. You know? But like I've said before, it does take some players time to settle in. Earlier on this season, Borussia Dortmund warned Man United about the Jadon Sancho problem. Dortmund's CEO came out and said that Sancho's lack of game time at Man United is hurting my soul. We got Sancho for 78 million with add-ons included, and he's under contract with Man United till June 2026 as an option of a further year. You've got Cristiano Ronaldo, best player in the world. Ronaldo did play against Leicester recently, but I thought for the vast majority of that game he was anonymous. I think he wanted to storm off the pitch, but he got stopped. Ronaldo had a couple of chances in the game against Leicester. Don't forget, Ronaldo was annoyed with Solskjaer after Man United's 1-1 draw with Everton before the international break. Solskjaer got criticised for not starting Ronaldo against Everton, but despite that, Solskjaer said he had no regrets over not starting Ronaldo. But he has done well since he's re-signed. So far he's scored 5 goals in all competitions. Prior to the Leicester game, Ronaldo did inform Solskjaer that he wants to play in every single league game after he was left on the bench against Everton. Ronaldo got named Premier League Player of the Month for September. During the international break, Ronaldo got a hat-trick for Portugal against Luxembourg. Earlier on this season, it said that Ronaldo wants to retire at Man United, then coach Cristiano Jr. in the Red Devils youth team. And prior to the Villa game earlier on this season, Solskjaer said he believes Ronaldo can keep playing for Man United into his 40s, he's 36 at the moment. Well, Ronaldo's already hinted that he's looking to stay at Man United beyond his current contract. At the moment, Ronaldo's under contract with Man United till 2023. There's an option of a further year. Ronaldo receives £480,000 a week, so at the moment, he's the highest earner at Man United. He wears the number 7 shirt, and we got Ronaldo for 19.8 million, with add-ons included. You've got Edison Cavani, that's also good. Cavani didn't play against Leicester due to personal reasons. Could be involved in the game against Atlanta on Wednesday. Cavani did play against Everton before the international break. Cavani will leave next year. I can't say I want him to leave though, because he's made an impact since he's come in. Earlier on this season it said Real Madrid want Cavani on loan in January, and I presume Barcelona will reignite their interest in Cavani in January, because Barcelona wanted Cavani on deadline day in the summer transfer window. Cavani was out of injury earlier on this season. Cavani's got under a year left on his contract at Man United. It was back in May Cavani signed that 1-year contract extension. Cavani's on over £200,000 a week. Cavani's got a good pedigree behind him. He won a lot of trophies when he was at PSG, and he was also a long-serving player when he was at PSG. He's initially lost his place in the team, Cavani, but was re-signing Ronaldo, but if we change formation, then he should get more opportunities, because we're considering changing formation where Solskjaer will be allowed to play 2 strikers. You've got Bruno Fernandes, that's also very, very good. Bruno Fernandes recently got an assist for Mason Greenwood's goal against Leicester, but apart from that, he was pretty quiet in the game against Leicester. But there has been quite a few games where Bruno Fernandes has looked off the pace, but he's been consistent in a lot of games for Manchester United. Fernandes is one of our best players, and he's one of the best signings we made since Ferguson retired. Fernandes has been at Manchester United for almost 2 years. Last season he won Player of the Year, and he's won Player of the Month quite a few times, reflecting on his good performances. We got Fernandes from Sporting Lisbon back in January 2020. Now, it said earlier on this season that Fernandes was close to signing a new 5-year contract with Manchester United, worth £250,000 a week, with the signing of Ronaldo. At the moment, Fernandes is under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year. Earlier on this season, Fernandes made it clear that he wants to stay at Manchester United. He's predominantly an attacking midfielder. Donny van der Beek, he's also a good player, but revert back to what I've said so many times before, I haven't really had much of a perception on him at Manchester United because he hasn't been given enough game time. And I've already said to you, Solskjaer needs to start Van der Beek, especially in the Premier League, Van der Beek didn't play any part against Leicester. For some reason, we started Matic ahead of Van der Beek against Leicester. Not so long ago, it said Solskjaer's private view on Van der Beek became public. Solskjaer still believes Van der Beek has an Old Trafford future, despite his lack of game time. Earlier on this season, Van der Beek was furious with Solskjaer as he was left on the bench in Man United's win over Villarreal. So reflecting on that, it said Van der Beek will try to force a January transfer away from Man United following his Villarreal meltdown. And earlier on this season, Van der Beek told Solskjaer his best position. He reckons he'd be best served operating as a number 6 or as a number 8. And also Van der Beek spoke about his Man United future in an exclusive interview with Ferdinand. The other week though, Van der Beek's agent was said to be working hard on finding a new club for his client. Many clubs have been in for Van der Beek. Fabrizio Romano has already revealed that Van der Beek's planning to leave the club in January. He's been with us for 18 months. He's endured a difficult 18 months. This season's his second full season. We got Van der Beek for 40 million, with add-ons included. He's got a contract with Man United till 2025 and he's versatile. He can play in 3 different roles. You've got Paul Pogba, that's also a good player. Not only a good player, an imperative player. Pogba recently played against Leicester, didn't do much, but I think he's enjoyed a good start to the Premier League season. So far, Pogba's got 7 assists. Pogba produced good performances for Man United in the last couple of months of last season. Now, like I updated you this morning, Pogba said that something needs to change at Manchester United after Manchester United's 4-2 defeat to Leicester. So reflecting on that, is Paul Pogba, Solskjaer out? Now last week, Andy Mitten from The Athletic said that Manchester United offered Pogba £400,000 a week to stay at Manchester United. That would see Pogba become the second highest earner at Man United. At the moment, Pogba receives 290 grand a week. Pogba's current contract at Man United expires next summer. Well, before the start of this season, it said Pogba rejected a Man United contract. The other week, he said Pogba wants to stay at Manchester United, and Paul Scholes backed Pogba to stay at United. Now, the Daily Mail recently said that Real Madrid are ready to offer Paul Pogba 12 million a year in wages and a 25 million transfer bonus as Mino Raiola is pushing his client to join Real Madrid. Last week, Spanish publication AS said that Real Madrid are back in the race to sign Pogba on a free transfer when his contract at Man United expires at the end of the season. Real Madrid think Pogba could help convince Mbappe to join next year. Pogba's been relentlessly linked with Real Madrid before. During the international break, it said Pogba refused to rule out a Juventus return. Pogba did admit that he always speaks to his ex-Juventus teammates. And earlier on this season, Mino Raiola suggested that Pogba could return to Juventus from Man United on a free next summer. League 10 Sports said not so long ago that PSG are ready to offer Pogba $500,000 a week in wages if Pogba decides to leave Man United next summer. PSG wanted Pogba in the summer transfer window, but they couldn't get him because they got Messi. Recently, Pogba was offered to Barcelona, and Inter Milan have been in for him before. So reflect on all of that. Pogba's had a long-running transfer saga. This season is Pogba's 6th season at Man United since he rejoined. He's won 3 trophies at the club so far. And Pogba's our most expensive signing at the moment because we paid 89 million for him. We had him when he was a lot younger under the Ferguson era, but had to let him go due to limited appearances. You've got Luke Shaw. That's a very good left back. But Luke Shaw's been out of form so far this season. Where's a Luke Shaw from last season? Because last season Luke Shaw was superb. I'm sure as the season goes on, Luke Shaw will regain his form. Not so long ago though, Shaw came back from a minor injury and illness. Shaw's had a good career at Manchester United, despite the injuries he's had. Shaw's been at Man United for 7.5 years, so he's been a long-serving player, and he's been our first-choice left-back for a while, and he still remains our first-choice left-back despite the arrival of Telles. And Wan-Bissaka, he's a good right-back, but there's aspects of his game that have got to improve. But despite that, I still think he's one of the best right-backs we've had since Gary Neville. Defensively, he's always been superb. This season is Bissaka's 3rd full season at Man United. We got Bissaka from Crystal Palace back in the summer of 2019. We got him for 50 million. By the way, Bissaka's available to play against Atlanta on Wednesday. He didn't play against Villarreal, Bissaka, because he was suspended because he got sent off in our 2-1 defeat to Young Boys. You've got Varane, that's a good centre-half. He's been consistent in a lot of games so far for Man United, but he's had a couple of games where he's looked off the pace. But anyway, Varane is out with a groin injury. He's out for a few weeks, unfortunately. Varane came off injured in France's Nations League final against Spain. He went down holding his leg. He got replaced by Dayot Upamecano in the 43rd minute. We got Varane in a deal worth 41 million with add-ons included. Man United paid like 34 million up front. Varane's under contract with Man United till 2025. There's an option of a further year, and Varane to Man United was official just before kick-off against Leeds, which was the opening day. And you've got Harry Maguire. That's a good centre-half when he wants to be. He's had his good games at Man United, he's had his bad games, but Maguire has not done well so far this season. Maguire was abysmal against Leicester recently. He made howlers for Leicester's 1st and 4th goal. But Maguire shouldn't have played against Leicester. He certainly shouldn't have started. He was rushed back too soon by Solskjaer. Maguire has just come back from a calf injury, and Maguire had ligament damage in his ankle towards the end of last season. We overpaid for Maguire. We got him for 80 million, so he's the most expensive centre-half in the world at the moment and the 2nd most expensive signing at the club. You've got Eric Bailly, that's a good centre-half, but Bailly's finding it hard to get in the team, obviously with the arrival of Varane in the summer transfer window, and plus for some reason Solskjaer prefers Lindelof ahead of Eric Bailly. Bailly did play against West Ham in the Cup earlier on this season. He played well in that one. That was actually his first start of the season. My element of concern about Eric Bailly is injury prone, so in that aspect he's a liability. Towards the end of last season, Bailly signed a new contract with Man United till 2024. I think there's a good chance he'll go next year. And obviously we've got De Gea. That's a very, very good goalkeeper. He's one of the best in the world. He's done really well so far this season. De Gea recently made some very good saves in the game against Leicester. And Dean Henderson's a good goalkeeper. Henderson's only been in goal for one game so far this season. That was West Ham in the Cup. But don't forget, at one point, Henderson was out with COVID for a while. I heard earlier on this season that Henderson wants a loan move away from Man United after De Gea reclaimed the #1 spot back. But Henderson did well in a lot of the games he was in goal for last season. So there you go. There's a good squad. Obviously, there's inconsistent players at Man United who aren't good enough to represent the club. You know, Fred's not good enough. I don't think McTominay's good enough. Martial's not good enough. Lingard's not good enough. Dalot's not good enough. Lindelof's not good enough. Matic isn't good enough. So there you go. Anyway, like I said to you on my last video, I will be doing my predicted 11 for the Man United Atlanta game later on. So subscribe to my channel. It's Red Devil 24. Take care. God bless.